Kanya Makan, Fikidim Zaman. There was once and there was not a merchant in the city of Baghdad called Abu Qasim. He was known by everyone for his greed, for his meanness. Why, he was even mean with himself. Abu Qasim, the merchant, never gave anything, not even to himself. He hadn't had a new pair of shoes for so long that his old shoes were falling apart. They had been stitched so many times, they had grown to the size of plates. Abu Qasim, people knew he was coming even before he turned the corner because of the stench of his shoes. One day Abu Qasim heard that a merchant was coming from Aleppo selling small glass bottles at a very cut price. Abu Qasim secured a deal, bought a number of those bottles. He thought, one day they will come in useful, I will sell for a profit. Then, not long after, he heard about another merchant who was selling the finest quality perfume, rose water. Abu Qasim bought enough, not too much, at a bargain price. He was good at securing the best deal, and that night Abu Qasim spent filling each of those perfume bottles with great care, not spilling a drop. Abu Qasim thought that the season would soon come, the season of giving, a festival, and people would buy these glass bottles of fine perfume and he would make a great profit. And pleased with this idea, Abu Qasim decided to treat himself to a rare bath in the hammam. So he went to the bathhouse, and as he came in, the bathhouse owner said, Abu Qasim, let me buy you a new pair of shoes. Inshallah, said Abu Qasim, if God is willing. He took off his stinky old shoes, went inside for his bath, his massage, his beard trim. Soon after, the Qadi, the judge of Baghdad, arrived. He had the finest quality new leather shoes, which he left outside the hammam and went in for his treatment. Abu Qasim was first to leave. He didn't see his own shoes, but these fine new shining leather shoes, and thought, the hammam owner has given me shoes. He put the shoes on, they fitted perfectly, and he walked home, pleased with himself for not having spent an extra penny. When the Qadi came out, he couldn't find his own shoes, but could smell Abu Qasim's shoes. Has Abu Qasim taken my shoes? I'm not wearing these. And the Qadi sent a guard to Abu Qasim's house. Abu Qasim was seized and brought before the Qadi. You're wearing my shoes. Give them back. Abu Qasim tried to explain, but the Qadi became more annoyed. You will spend a night in a cell and a fine of 10 dinar. Well, although 10 dinar was a modest sum, Abu Qasim was angry to spend even a single one. Abu Qasim spent the night in prison, paid the fine, and returned home with his stinking shoes. Oh, you shoes, I blame you. You are the cause of my trouble. And Abu Qasim decided to throw the shoes into the river Tigris, the magnificent river that runs through the city of Baghdad. He went to the banks of the river and tossed the shoes in, splosh, splash. Then he went home, still annoyed about paying that fine. He locked his door. A fisherman that evening threw his net into the river. And that night he hauled in, these aren't too heavy fish, these are shoes. And smelling them, these are Abu Qasim's shoes. The fisherman was annoyed, but then concerned that Abu Qasim may have drowned. But surely not. I will take the shoes to his house and return them to him. When the fisherman reached the house, there was no one at the door, and there was a locked door. So the fisherman went round the back of the house. The window was open. The fisherman took one of the shoes and threw it through the window. It flew across the room and struck one of those perfume bottles sitting on a shelf. It fell and smashed on the hard floor. Abu Qasim came rushing in. "Oh no! One of my perfume bottles has been destroyed, and there is the perfume lost." And as he looked, wringing his hands, he saw another shoe sailing through the window, as if in slow motion. Across the room it went and into the shelf, where all of the bottles shook and one by one toppled and rolled to the end of the shelf and smash and crash and smash and crash. And Abu Qasim tried to juggle the last ones, but they all fell and broke, and the perfume was all lost, every drop. "What is it? My shoes. You, my shoes, are the ones to blame. I have lost all my profit. Oh, my shoes, I will bury you." And although it was now night, Abu Qasim began to dig a hole in the corner of his house, right at the adjoining wall with his neighbours. He cursed and he dug and he dug and he cursed, and his neighbours, hearing this, thought, "Abu Qasim is trying to bring our house down. Our house is starting to shake. Abu Qasim wants our house to collapse." They sent for the guards. Abu Qasim the next morning was brought before the Cadi of Baghdad again. "Abu Qasim, you tried to knock down your neighbour's house, but the Cadi wouldn't listen. You are fined 100 dinar and 3 nights in prison." Abu Qasim couldn't believe his ears. 100 dinar. Abu Qasim served his 3 days in the cell and then came out, reacquainted with his shoes. "You are the ones to blame." Abu Qasim went to a gutter, a dry gutter, and threw the shoes in. "I may never see you again." But that night, the dry city of Baghdad was blessed with rain. Pitter, patter, pitter, patter. The rain fell heavier and heavier until it was a downpour. The water flowed through the city and into the gutters. The shoes were washed into the main drain, where they blocked the drain. The water rose higher and higher, and the gutters overspilled, and the section of the city where Abu Qasim lived was flooded. Many houses were soon under water. Workmen were sent, and by morning they had fished out the 2 stinking shoes, the cause of the flood. Abu Qasim's shoes! The Cadi had Abu Qasim up before him. "Abu Qasim, now you have flooded half of the city of Baghdad. Your behavior is outrageous. You will spend a week in a cell, and I fine you 1,000 dinar. That is a great proportion of my wealth." Abu Qasim, although he tried to protest, had to serve his sentence. After suffering that month in prison, Abu Qasim was with his shoes again. These sodden, stinking shoes. There was only one answer for it. "I will dry you out in the sun, and then I will burn you, shoes. Then there will be no chance for you to bring about any harm." He put the shoes on the roof. It was now hot and sunny in Baghdad again. The shoes soon dried out. Before Abu Qasim could retrieve them, a neighbour's dog, playing on the roof, picked up those 2 ragged shoes between its teeth and started playing with them, jumped from roof to roof until it came to the roof of the Cadi's house. The dog dropped the shoes. They fell into the shady courtyard where the Cadi's wife was resting. She was with child, almost ready to give birth. The shoes falling on her head made her jump up in shock. "Oh, my child is coming! My child is coming!" She went into labour. The child was born healthy and well, but when the Cadi found out the cause of his wife being in labour before she was ready, was infuriated. "Abu Qasim, what have you tried to do to me and my family? You will spend a year in prison, and you will be fined 10,000 dinars. But that's everything I have," said Abu Qasim. But his protest fell on deaf ears. Abu Qasim suffered a whole year in the cells. But that discomfort was not his main concern. He had lost all his wealth. Abu Qasim came out a destroyed man. There were his shoes again. Abu Qasim resolved to go to the ruler of the city of Baghdad, to the Sultan himself. Finally, he was let in and stood before the Sultan, dejected. "What is it?" said the Sultan. He sat there in his golden robe, surrounded by his advisors. "Why are you here, Abu Qasim?" Well, of course, he knew Abu Qasim, as everyone did. "But, Your Majesty, oh great Sultan, I ask you please to let me be separated from these shoes which have brought about my downfall. Please let your lawyers write up a contract that separates me, divorces me from these shoes forever." "Tell me the story," said the Sultan. And Abu Qasim began to recount woefully all that had happened. The Sultan listened and began to smile. The advisors held their sides and laughed. Soon everyone was almost rolling on the floor in hilarity at Abu Qasim's story, which he told with such earnestness and sorrow and self-pity. At the end he said, "Please, Sultan, let the contract be drawn up." "Very well," said the Sultan. "I will ask my lawyers to do so on one condition, Abu Qasim. You have entertained us greatly with this outrageous story. Let this story be told. If you, Abu Qasim, agree to tell this story to everyone you meet, and, Abu Qasim, the fault is not your shoes. Learn from your mistake. You need to learn to be generous, Abu Qasim, and to give, as is your duty, to those who have less. No doubt you will regain your wealth through your shrewd business dealings, but remember to always tell your story," which is why the story continued to be told, and so many people have told it. The story came to Amna Burki, whose family is originally from northern India, but she grew up in Pakistan, where everybody knows the story of Abu Qasim, and her mother often used to chastise her children for being untidy or messy by saying, "Think of Abu Qasim." And Amna Burki, who now tells beautiful stories in Winnipeg in Canada, gave this story to me to share. Thank you, Amna Burki. And if you enjoy it, pass on the story of Abu Qasim's shoes. My name is David Heathfield, and I'm telling this story in my home in Exeter in Devon for your pleasure.